And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. It is a Thursday, almost Thanksgiving. A week out from today will be Thanksgiving and Turkey Day around the nation of the United States of America. So looking forward to that. And the best thing is just vacation, a little bit of time off, a little bit of relaxation, and time with the families. We're presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey. Check them out for the holiday season at the Easy Liquor app or easyliquor.com. If you forget that, the websites are at the bottom of the screen. We're live on the YouTube channel and also at the Sports Guys podcast.com. And our guest today, our featured artist, we're going to go back to back today. So coming up about 4:30, Nashville recording artist Kimberly Kelly is going to join us here on the show. We'll talk about her debut album. But first up is we all need that praise and worship and great Christian music out there. Singer-songwriter Justin Warren joins us here on the program. Justin, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. It's an honor to be on. Thanks for having me, man.
Man, appreciate it, dude. Like I said, a lot of things cross my desk a lot of times. And like I said, it's my show, so I can put on when it sounds good. I'm going to put it on the brand here and talk all about it too. Well, I tell you what, out of the gate, man, Raleigh, North Carolina. Like I said, you married Laura. You guys have two great, I'm sure, healthy boys out there too, doing well. Hey, just tell me about you and this side of Christian music and kind of how you got started with this thing called the music industry.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it all started back when I was in sixth grade. I went to a summer camp with my church youth group. And that was the first time where I was like, I want to do music and I want to play Christian music, praise and worship. My dad was like, I'll make you a deal. I wanted to be a drummer. That's what I wanted to do after seeing this band. He's like, I'll buy you a drum set if you do school band. And so I did. I played school band until I graduated. He bought me a drum set and I played drums. And it wasn't until like my junior and senior year, my sister started taking guitar lessons, and she'd come home from guitar lessons. I'd be, hey, let me see that. And I'd start playing. And next thing you know, I started playing in a praise band at my church, started leading worship at my church. And then I had a manager of a local Christian band say, hey, will you come be a lead singer for us? My parents were really supportive. I did that. And then down the road, I kind of stepped out as a solo artist. And next thing you know, all these years later, by the grace of God, I'm doing this for a living, and I'm just incredibly thankful.
Yeah, talk about the numbers, man, the streams and how much Spotify and all these things have changed it with SoundCloud and, of course, all the different listening pleasures out there, Apple Music and wherever people stream or download music now. Man, you hit over 1 million on Spotify with these streams. And man, you've been on this big tour with some of the top names in your genre of music, and of course, just different bands such as Mercy Me. What's the streams been like for you, man, to reach some of those, what I say, global big time streams, those big time numbers?
I'm just thankful. To me, it's like mind blowing that anybody would listen to any of this stuff. And so for the people, who have chosen to stream it and support us, and really it's just the stories and the feedback that we get about the songs and just how they have helped people walking through tough times. That's what means the most to me. But I'm incredibly thankful for the people who've listened in the streams. Yeah, it's every little bit helps, you know?
Yeah, it does, no doubt. And I mean, again, like those bands like Mercy Me and, of course, like I said, Building 429. I mean, Natalie Grant, my goodness, icon in music herself. What's it been like to tour, maybe support these acts, open them up, arenas across America, and also do what you love to do? And I know the touring is back strong again.
Yeah, it is. So some of those bands you mentioned, I've opened up for. I haven't got a tour with them. I've gotten to tour with some guys like Sanctus Real and JJ Weeks and Finding Favor and Rhett Walker and stuff like that. But yeah, getting opened up for Mercy Me was crazy, and Natalie Grant. I love it. I love getting to play. I'm thankful for any time I get to go out, especially when I get to go out with people that I grew up listening to. Man, it means so much. And yeah, it's really encouraging that touring is back happening again. It's been a great year. The pandemic, of course, it impacted so many people in different ways, but not being on the road when this is what you do for a living and what you feel called to do and what you love to do, it was definitely a bummer not being on the road. So I'm really glad that we're back out and back at it.
No doubt. And I want to talk specifically about a song that I've been listening to a lot, and definitely it's on a lot of people's, radar kind of as it gets through the tough time of the year, which is it's always great to give a be with family, but I know people with inflation and dealing with all the kind of unexpected expenses around the country, the groceries, things like that, and bills and what have you. But there's a place and a song for everybody out there, man, and it's called God Is On Your Side. You guys released that as a single back in last year. Talk about how this tune came together, because really for me, it's very uplifting. And when you really reach out and listen and dive into the lyrics, man, the song is fantastic. And we all need a little bit of that every day.
Man, thank you for the encouraging words. It really just kind of goes back to what you were just talking about, just hard times. I really wrote this song as an encouragement for people no matter what they were walking through, what they were going through in life. Because man, that's one thing about traveling all over the place. I meet so many different people and I hear so many different stories. And there's no doubt that people go through really difficult situations. But I just wanted to remind them and remind myself, really, I got to remind myself this all the time, that God is for them, God's with them, and he is on their side. And even though there's times we don't understand what he's up to or what's going on, we still trust him, and he's still good, and he's going to work it all out.
Yeah, and I really felt that too. Another one of the EPs you guys had put out there too, which a lot of cool stuff on there, a lot of really great songs. Gotta Believe led it off to, and it was called Moments. An EP came out for you guys in 2019. Take me through the making of that, the song choices, the writing, kind of the whole 9 yards with the EP Moments.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun recording Moments. Actually, recorded that with Scotty Wilbanks, who now plays keys for Luke Bryan.
Okay.
He is a monster of a musician. He's a monster producer. And so a lot of those songs him and I wrote together. Some other friends stepped in and helped. I wrote so many songs for that EP, and we ended up just picking like the top 5 and recorded them. It's really special, and I love getting to play those songs live.
Yeah, I tell you, Gotta Believe just really set the tone for that EP, no doubt. What was kind of the making and the backstory of that one a little bit? Because great song to lead off that record.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was just wanting to encourage people in their faith, in their walk. You know, there's this story in the Bible that I love of this father. He comes to Jesus and he asks him to heal his child, and he basically, when he asks, he's like, "If it's possible, would you heal him?" And Jesus responds, he's like, "If it's possible," he says, "anything is possible for those who believe." And then the father says, "I believe, Lord, help my unbelief." And and then Jesus heals his son. And so really just that story, that inspiration of just believing and having faith that God can do the impossible. And he can see you through difficult and hard situations.
Did y'all run into any? I always ask this question because I know recording a record is never cheap. It never is. And the time in the studio spent it takes a lot of just brains and brawn, things like that, and stamina. Did y'all run into any kind of either technical or just issues in making this record? Or what were some of the challenges in putting this out?
In the Moments EP,
the Moments EP, yeah. Or were there any? Yeah.
I wouldn't say there was any like challenges of things that like didn't go how we thought they would. It was just a lot of hard work. We worked long and hard on it, and I'm proud of it, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for Scotty and everybody who played on it. Yeah, I'm very thankful. But nothing, no crazy stories or anything happened, so I'm thankful for that. But like you said, I mean, it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of work, a lot of time and dedication, and you just gotta see it through. So.
Yeah, talk about your team too, because a lot of people may not see this, being in the music industry. I see it just because, like I said, I've been around a lot of the great artists out there we get to talk to here on the program, but the challenges behind the scenes of just having to make sure you have not necessarily a challenge, but surrounding yourself with good people, a good team. You mentioned a great publicist that you have in Rick Hoganson.
Yeah, and Rick is awesome, man.
Just your people, man. Like I said, how important is it to have that good team behind you?
Man, it's everything. I just recently signed with Radiate Music with Ian Esklin on his label, and it's opened up a whole new chapter and season of my life. And having him and his team around me has just kind of opened up more doors and opportunities that when I was doing this all on my own that I never got. And so I'm incredibly thankful for that. And then I have my band guys who are my road warriors who are on the road with me, who are like my best friends in the world and my brothers. And I couldn't do it without them either. We live life together, so we see each other at our best and at our worst. And I'm incredibly thankful for all of them.
Yeah, and I'd say, man, y'all just put out some great music over the years. One that I wanted to touch on was "Back to Life." I think that was another fantastic single that was last year for you guys. Another just great message you're sending through. Great Christian music. Tell me how that one came together.
Yeah, so I got to write that song with a buddy of mine. His name's Matt Armstrong, and he's been a monster songwriter in the Christian world. He's written some of the biggest songs in Christian music. He's written songs for like Tomlin and for I Am They, and just you name it, he's probably written a song for them. And so I had a lot of fun. We wrote that together, and he actually produced it and did a killer job. And it's really just a declaration of the good news, man, of the gospel. Mm-hmm. That's what that song is. And and so we just wanted to make that declaration and that powerful truth that God brings dead hearts back to life.
No doubt, man. Like I said, I love it out there too. And the current single you guys are riding right now, no doubt it's doing very well. Came out at the end of September. And I'm going to set you up for it, All Things Well, which is out there across all the digital platforms. And I understand you're going to play that for us here on the show at this moment. So feel free to take it away, my friend, and we'll come back and talk about this one how it was incorporated and put together. But another fantastic song. So
thanks so much, man. All right. Looking out into the night sky, I'm amazed at what I see. 1,000,000,000 stars and all my wildest dreams hanging right in front of me. You're the God of endless possibility. You give grace upon grace, always showing up with big plans for me. Despite my mistakes, you do all things well. You do all things well. I give it all to you, proving you do all things well. You speak life into existence. The only one who can turn around this only ever known darkness into something good. You do all things well. You do all things well. I give it all to you, proving you do all things well. You do all things well. I give it all to you, proving you do all things well. You never wasted a moment. I praise you in the good times and the bad. You are the one that I hope. My future is held in your hands. You never wasted a moment. I praise you in the good times and the bad. You are the one that I hope in. My future is held in your hands. You do all things well. You do all things well. I give it all to you, proving you do all things well. You do all things well. I give it all to you, proving you do everything perfect and faithful and true. Only you, proving you do all things well. You never wasted a moment. You do all things well. Yeah, man.
I love it, man. That's what we need to do. And like I said, we amen here on the Backstage Pass, no doubt, when it comes to all things well. The current single, you can also check him out at justinwarrenmusic.net. Make sure you guys do that. The whole tour schedule's there, and some shows even clicking in for 2023 as we're here on the Backstage Pass. We're going to take a quick time out, get a word in for our sponsor, Bangtail Whiskey is the holiday drink of choice. Make sure you drink responsibly, but check out easyliquor.com and get that bottle sent directly to your door for online shopping. And I'll be having a couple of glasses next week around the fire and around everything up for Thanksgiving with the family. Got plenty of that too. And one bottle, folks, is definitely enough. But if you got companies and corporations and functions out there and you want to bring Bangtail a part of it, 750 milliliters of good stuff out there. Make it the drink of choice for the holiday season. Take my word for it. A word from Bangtail, more with Justin Warren. It is the Backstage Pass, of course, live on the YouTube channel and also at the sportsguys podcast.com. More to come. Hang tight.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on the show again, of course, just a day to go before the holidays begin. I'm back here with Justin Warren on the Backstage Pass. And, of course, next week, I just got word she's going to be coming on the show next Monday at 1:30. So we're going to do a little bonus coverage. I thought it was all vacation, but not when you get a name like this in entertainment. Pop star from the 80s. You might remember the name Tiffany. She's going to drop by here on the program here to talk about her new album called Shadows. It comes out November the 25th. So Tiffany will be with us at 1:30 next Monday, November the 21st. Very excited about that too. Back here with Justin Warren. All Things Well is the current single across all the digital platforms. Make sure you guys go out there, stream that, get that going. Well, let's talk about it, man, because when you sing it, it's like really flawless, no doubt, and I love it. And amen, it sends a great message. How did this one come about?
Yeah, so I wrote this song honestly kind of when my life was in a difficult season. Before COVID hit, I was out on tour opening up for Saint This Real, and I was super excited because here I was. I thought my career was like taking all these next steps, and I was so excited about the future. I'm out here opening up for this band that I love and I've listened to since I've grown up. And then, of course, COVID hits, pulls us off the road. I'm at home. There's nothing to do, which is a bummer in and of itself. In that same season, one of my best friends in the world who plays drums with me, his name's Josh Seagraves. His dad was diagnosed with cancer. We were praying for his healing. We believe God can heal. We believe in the power of prayer, but ultimately God chose to take his dad home to heaven where he's healed ultimately. And I'm thankful for that. But, it was kind of just, it hurt our hearts. We were praying all these big prayers for healing. And then I also had this opportunity in the season while I was off the road where I thought I might be stepping into something totally different, which was crazy because I've been on the road for a while now and I love it. But I thought God might be like, all right, it's your time to hang it up and I have something new for you. And then like out of nowhere, that door just like shut in my face. And so I just remember getting really just kind of really depressed, angry, upset. And I'll never forget my dad sent me this sermon, sent me a YouTube link. I listened to it. This pastor, he preached out of Mark 7:37. And basically what happens in Mark 7, there's two accounts where Jesus healed people. And then in Mark 7:37, it says the people were astonished beyond measure, saying he does all things well. And then the pastor was like, of course they would say he does all things well. They just watched him do incredible things. But what about for those of us who are walking through difficult seasons where we don't know what God is up to? And that's where I was at, man. That's where I found myself. I was walking through that difficult season. I didn't know what God was up to. He was like, for those of us, we have to choose to believe that he does all things well. And ultimately one day, whether it's a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, years down the road, or maybe it's not till we get to the other side of glory, we'll be able to look back and see that God really does do all things well. And so when I first started writing that song, it was really depressing, to be honest, but I took it into the studio with Ian Eskelin and my buddy JJ Weeks. The three of us were writing together, and we turned it into much more of just like a celebratory and just proclaiming that truth that he does do all things well, and also just reminding ourselves that he never wastes a moment, and we can trust him with our future.
Great title for a great song, no doubt. And that's well said there with All Things Well. Again, out there for your streaming purposes, and you guys can get out there and put a great song in for if you got one of them gift cards. I know I get them all the time, iTunes or whatever. Go just get it across all those platforms with the streaming, get those numbers up even higher too. There was one that stuck out to me too, Justin, on the Moments EP that was a song called Giants. I thought that was very interesting, a title, but definitely a song that can relate to as well. Tell us all about that one.
Yeah, I really kind of just the idea of that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But, we hear that a lot when that scripture is very famous. I was just trying to put some imagery and words of what that would look like. So standing up to giants, walking with lions, like all these different things we see in the Bible with David and Daniel and just knowing that God's with us and we can, face all those things in those situations. So we can stand with the giants and we can stand tall. That's the lyrics. Yeah.
Cool thing. We get to celebrate a week from the day, which is getting around the table with family, friends, laughing, joking, talking, and just thank God for another Thanksgiving coming up next week here in the US of A. And I guess as we approach this and into the holiday season, What are you most thankful for?
Man, I'm thankful for my family, my beautiful wife. We in September we celebrated 15 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We got our 2 boys, Luke, who's our oldest. He'll be 12 in December. Wow. Our youngest, Liam, is 7. And just recently, not too long ago, we found out we're pregnant with our 3rd.
Whoa! And, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. So we have big gaps there, but we're excited.
Yeah.
We're super pumped. And we actually find out the day after Thanksgiving if it's a boy or a girl.
All right. So you got a little Black Friday surprise coming up.
We're ready, man. We're so pumped, man. Yeah.
You're like, I got that present coming. I don't need to go out and get a beautiful boy or girl coming up that day after Thanksgiving, too. I know for that night, too, I told mine, I said, we just got the one right now. I said, I'm just, oh, man, but the cost of daycare and everything else going up, it's like one for me is just, that's because I wish I could just take her right now and go put her in public school. So I wouldn't have to pay the day take care of it. I got to go through every phase. It's rough, man. It's rough, no doubt. Love the songs, man. Love the songs. Very uplifting and just some terrific music out there across all the streaming platforms nationwide. You guys check it out and also check out the website out there, which is justinwarrenmusic.net too as well. We'll come back. Final time out here. We'll come back to a couple of questions on rapid fire. Kimberly Kelly coming up here a little bit on the Backstage Pass. And, of course, tomorrow, a good friend Tiffany Woys is going to drop by. And then Monday at 1:30, special show with the artist known as Tiffany here on the Backstage Pass. She'll talk about a new album called Shadows, which is coming out November the 25th of next week. Some great rock music there. She was always a rocker back in her days in the 80s. You got to love Tiffany if you love all the different genres of music out there, too. Quick timeout. More with Justin Warren. Here it is, the Backstage Pass. Hang tight.
The Bangtail Pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on the show again, presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey. Check them out, bangtail.com, or you can get that to easyliquor.com. Get that bottle sent directly to your door for the holiday season. Our good friend Brandon Bang, appreciate all the support he gives our program here on the Backstage Pass. So let's jump into a little rapid fire, and sometimes it's not so rapid when you have to put a little thought behind it too, which is great. But if it is, hey, it's a cool thing.
I'm nervous now.
You're right. Last show you got to binge watch, or shows, what were they?
Shows that I binge watch. I don't know. Oh man. This isn't technically a show, but my boys and I, there's a YouTube show, YouTube channel called Good Good Golf. We love golf. And me and my boys almost watch an episode almost every night before they go to bed. So that's like our thing. Yeah.
I like that too. And I guess speaking of golf, other hobbies outside of music that you and the family enjoy, what are they?
Oh, it's definitely golf.
Okay.
Me and the boys played 9 holes a little earlier today. Yeah.
There you go. All right. I like
in the freezing cold. We're a little crazy.
It's all right. I played in Canada one time a few years ago, visiting some friends up there, and it was it was cold on the golf course. He's like, "Why are you wearing shorts?" I thought it was going to warm up in Canada, not during the summertime. No, I got in the 50s, and I said, "That's cold out there too." And I think I had to buy a pair of pants at the gift shop to put on and make sure I could finish the rest. We played 18, which is pretty crazy, and he whooped me. I'll tell you that story. It's a funny story for
how is golf up there? Is it beautiful?
Beautiful up there, man. Just the west side of Canada, amazingly pretty. Just west of Edmonton, a little town called Grand Prairie, right there. Just a beautiful. I mean, you can just take the road up and you see the Alaska Highway 1 that goes directly into. I think it's Juneau is the first town you come to when you go there. But it's just a beautiful side of things. Definitely have to get back to that part of Canada here in the next 2 or 3 years. It's just a gorgeous side of the country too, and right there too, Vancouver, British Columbia, right next door. Have never been there, but I want to get over there too, as the good Lord's will, no doubt. Let me ask you about this: when it comes to favorite foods to cook or take out, and maybe a beverage here and there, what do y'all enjoy?
My favorite is like Japanese, like hibachi. That's like my go-to. Man, I love just like some teriyaki chicken and shrimp. Man, it's a fried rice.
Yeah,
I go to town.
You made me want to figure out what dinner tonight. I just had it last week, and I'm like, I want hibachi again. It's so It's so good out there too.
Yeah.
All right. If
Yeah.
Justin were to win a lottery, say Powerball, Mega Millions, what's the first thing you do with all that money?
Oh my gosh. I don't know, man. I would tithe. I need to say that because all my Christian brethren would come after me if I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I've never played the lottery in my life, but if I was to do it, I don't know. I'd take care of my family, that's for sure. My parents have been incredibly good to me over the years and loving and supporting me. I'd take care of them, and yeah,
I like
honest.
that. Good answer to a good question. You're a good man, no doubt, brother. Well, I tell you, I love the music. It is fantastic. I love it. All things well across all the digital platforms. God is on your side. Gotta believe the Moments EP. Guys, go check out some fantastic, fantastic Christian music out there with Justin, and give him a follow across all the socials and JustinWarrenMusic.net. Justin, fantastic to catch up here. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. And my friend, feel free, make a reservation in 2023 when new music or new projects come back. You can always come back here on the program.
We're working on an EP right now, so thank you, man. Thanks for having me on. It's great talking to you, and I hope you have a great Thanksgiving and and Christmas as well.
Looking forward to traveling and just getting out of town and having the best thing is the time off that we never can get back, which is a good thing out there too. So
yeah,
I've got to save the vocal cords. I've been calling too many football games over the past few weeks, and I'm still trying to keep these things alive too, no doubt about it. Make sure you guys go get the music across all the platforms. It's Justin Warren here on the Backstage Pass. Hang tight. We're going to do the Texas two-step here in a little bit. Kimberly Kelly coming on the program. She's got a big album out there right now we're going to talk about. Then Monday at 1:30, the artist known as Tiffany will come by and talk about her brand new album called Shadows, due out on November the 25th. We'll see you guys in just a matter of few. Hang tight. Coming right back. It is the Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com. We'll see you in just a few. Thanks for tuning in.